That was good. I don't think we have to do it. We got better every time we did it.
Yeah.
What do you want to chat about?
I honestly haven't thought of a cold open.
Well, we've been together like every day. Oh, so where I work in retail. We wear a particular color. It's like our uniform. And Rebecca came to pick me up because me, her, and a mutual friend were gonna hang out yesterday. It was really fun. If you're listening,
Hey.
hey. She walked in wearing the same color as our uniform, and so immediately everyone started looking at you, and you were like, "Oh no!"
I've made a mistake.
So of course I introduced her to all my coworkers, and I said she was a new hire, and it was her first day, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, hi! It's nice to meet you." And that's it. We left. So,
yeah.
Welcome to Boba Baddies. Today, let's do the Boba breakdown. You have to explain it because you made this today.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite, more festive bobas that I've made. So this is brown sugar boba with chai and maple oat. It's called a beverage, but I just think it's maple oat milk.
Yeah.
But it's not milk.
It's not milk.
Because it's oat. But yeah, it's just like, oh, and there's a little bit of caramel.
Yeah, here we go. My lips are so dry. It's stuck to the paper. Oh, it's very spicy, not like pepper spicy, but like cinnamon and nutmeg.
I like to go light on the oat milk stuff because I like the flavor of chai.
Mm-hmm. I'm not used to chewing the boba because the last 2 episodes we had popping boba. So
yeah, this is one of my faves though.
Let's discuss what was our gallery wall. So if you notice, we have a tarp up. There's a reason. It's blue. I'm wearing blue.
I'm not.
Our set is blue and night themed. But also this tarp, this tapestry has a secret. Mm-hmm. It's hiding our Halloween set.
Yeah.
So if you see through it, you'll get a sneak peek of the next episode, our Halloween special.
Yeah.
That we have already filmed. We're not going to act like we haven't, but
yeah.
We just had to film another episode in between from what's happening in today's world.
In pop culture.
Literally last night at midnight.
Yeah.
Or this morning at midnight, whatever.
I think this morning.
Let's go ahead and talk about our fan faves, though.
Okay.
What's been happening besides big pop culture shakeup that happened last night, this morning? Favorite song, favorite videos or anything. I'll start with my favorite songs. I actually know it. I've been listening to it on repeat. I never watched Glee. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cringy.
I agree.
But sometimes they have some banger covers, and there's like a Glee cast cover of Creep. Mm-hmm. It's very, very good. Like I definitely recommend listening to it. It's giving musical theater in a good way.
One of my favorite Glee clips is the one where Grant Gussin, he plays the Flash on CW. He's singing "Annie, Are You Okay?" Mm-hmm. And there's a really nice like cello to it, and it's a very like fast paced like spinning scene. I think he did a really good job on that cover. Plus, it's Grant Gussin, so
you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
watch him get canceled.
No, he's one of my favorite photos of him is him goofing off around paparazzi. Yeah, and also the one of him by his grave like this.
What an icon! Yeah, that's one of the So that's another thing I've been liking recently on TikTok is this trend where it's like moments in pop culture that changed my life, and that pose of him posing next to his own grave is definitely
that's one of them.
That's one of those moments.
Yeah. Something that I've realized this week, they put Bear in the Big Blue House on Disney Plus. Yeah. And that was one of my favorite shows ever as a kid. And I was watching it getting ready before I went and got you yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, this show is just too pure.
You're just sobbing.
Yeah. I texted my mom and I was like, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. I'm getting a golden retriever and I'm naming it Bear and you cannot stop me.
Mm-hmm. It's meant to be.
Yeah, it's meant to be. I think my favorite TikTok I saw this week was of a golden retriever, and the owners taught him how to surf.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was just surfing. Like, he literally rode a surfboard all the way to shore.
Wow.
And I was like, much balance.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to my brother and I was like, someone call a vet, this dog is sick.
Another moment that's happened this week that I've really loved is Pokemon. The new Pokemon game is coming out next month. If you don't play, you know what Pokemon is, at least at the very least. You know who Pikachu is. Every year, all the new Pokemon leak around October. I don't know why. It always happens. But there are particular Twitter accounts that reveal this information firsthand when they get it. But they all hate each other and they're beefing. And so every time I open Twitter, people say Twitter's a war zone, but it's not for the reasons they think. It's grown men fighting over Pokemon. And I just think it's funny.
It's too political now.
One of them, he was like, the game is leaking tomorrow, I promise. And then it didn't. And then he was trending on Twitter, like it was his name trending. And he said, oh no. So, drama?
I mean, it's all just a content war, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
It's for views.
Yeah. It's like who can post the video game the fastest.
Yeah.
Whenever people do collabs. Literally. But I just think it's funny how the war zone is just like, which Pokemon's gonna drop?
Yeah. Guys, new Pokemon dropped.
There was one that you showed me recently. It was like a worm.
Mm-hmm.
Prairie dog thing.
Yeah. Bandit? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently his evolution leaked, but people are debating if it's real or not. But yeah, we're gonna have an episode probably in November. I drew all the new Pokemon with my amazing art skills, and that'll be on the gallery wall. You can look forward to that. No. We had like an art day. It was me, you, and another mutual friend. We're just really popular.
Yeah.
And we typically paint, but we didn't have paint.
You did have really good highlighters.
Yeah,
though.
I brought highlighters, markers, color pencils, and pens, but it's typically like a outdoor painting day. But
I wish I would have known that you didn't have a lot, because I have a whole entire box of Sharpies that's just sitting in a drawer over there. So maybe next time, though.
Next time we do it. Oh, cheers.
Also, if you hear noises in the background, we do have a live studio audience again today. It's Bandit.
There is a live tiger in the studio, Rebecca's bedroom.
Yeah, the studio. That cracks me up.
So, also speaking of background noise, it's not really what's that smell. It's what am I hearing right now?
Oh yeah, I one of my favorite candles are wooden wick because they last longer. But I have a wooden wick apple chai candle for the fall season,
and it's loud.
Yeah.
You probably won't hear it on the mic after I do the noise reduction in our editing program, but it's just kind of distracting me, to be honest.
Sometimes it hisses,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, you got something
if
to
I
say?
seem like I'm stuttering, it's because my brain is going. It's like mimicking. I saw this thing on Twitter where it was like a day in the life. It was a drawing, and it was a drawing of a microwave, and it said beep, and then the guy opening the microwave said beep, and then the doorbell rings, and the guy goes ding dong, and that's how I feel. I'm hearing the candle, and I'm like,
it's like I went into your work yesterday, and all I heard was beep beep.
Oh yeah, we were doing inventory. Oh, inventory day is the best because my job is to put out new stuff like every day. But on inventory day, you don't put anything new out. You scan everything that's in the store, and you probably think that's a big task, and it is. It's the entire store, but you're really just kind of sitting on the floor, just scanning barcodes and go beep 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 beep. But it's everyone in the store is doing it, so it's like 100 people going beep 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 beep.
Just
beep,
the ambiance.
Beep. Yeah, you walked in. I think you thought I was exaggerating a little, and you walked in. It was like beep 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 beep.
I was a little overwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and that's how this candle makes me feel. So thank you, candle. What was it? Apple chai.
Apple spice chai. I also just like the design and how you can kind of see the flame through the cracks of the what is that? Like the textured finish.
Yeah. It's flocked.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, like when you flock a tree with fake snow.
Oh, yeah.
Or fake suede stuff. They just like spray that on like it's not actually the fabric.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm shook.
Yeah. Or like fake moss.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sprayed on. So
everything's a lie.
Yeah. I guess it's time. This is what the episode's been leading up to. What's trending. Mm-hmm. And of course that is Taylor Swift's new album Midnight came out at midnight last night this morning.
Mm-hmm. I was actually awake.
I waited. I watched a YouTube video about one of my favorite creators, Pixie Locks, and then after their video I was like, bedtime.
Yeah. I was listening to the first song on the album whenever you're like, I'm going to bed, and I'm just like,
yeah, I had to tell Rebecca, I was like, don't send me spoilers, because you were like, this song slaps. I was like, stop.
But not what I was expecting. We haven't talked about Midnights at all.
No, it was really hard. Even on the ride here, Rebecca was trying to talk about it, and I was like, stop.
So this is our first time hearing.
What is your overall opinion? Good, bad, meh, disappointed? Be genuine. I see you're trying to calculate a way to say this that won't make people mad. They've left. Those people aren't here anymore.
Well, I listen to music for what it is. I don't expect it to be something that it's not. Mm-hmm. So this is me listening to it is the way that an artist is representing and like speaking for themselves. But there were some things where I was really trying to figure out what she was trying to say because I had no idea what she was talking about. But yeah, I do like how there's kind of like a like techno celestial
so this is
vibe.
This is a synth.
Yeah, synth
pop album, and I mean we were all talking about it yesterday. What genre was she doing next? This was not absolutely not a possibility in my brain that she would do this, because her last two albums were so crunchy granola that I really didn't think she would go just the opposite way. And I can't even really say it's synth pop as a genre. This isn't pop music. There's like maybe one pop song.
I think it's like dark synth.
Emo synth.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say it was what I expected in the tone. I would say 80% of the songs are sad songs. And there's some like girl boss songs in there, but they have dark undertones. But I would say a majority of the songs are not something I would ever listen to again.
Yeah. I'm looking at it like an art piece. Like everything is representing and saying something. Did you watch the Anti-Hero music video this morning?
No.
Okay. So, I don't know if you want to watch it before you talk about it, but I thought that it was a very interesting perspective of how like she's portraying herself as the problem in her head.
Yes.
And so there's two of her in the music video, and the one's like kind of making her do bad things while she's just kind of trying to survive. And so and the funeral scene was kind of funny because in her last will and testament, she left everything to her cats. So,
yeah. I get what you're saying and I understand it. And you had kind of a disagreement with another friend recently where she only listens to the beat, the background music. You really like the lyrics. And so you're confused because you don't understand some of the lyrics. A song is both of those things. And I feel like some of these songs, I feel like the majority of the songs were lacking in the beat, to be honest. And the lyrical content was sometimes there, sometimes not. And so when I'm looking at this album overall, what makes music, lyrical music, is lyrics and music together. That's good.
It's like a dancing symphony.
And there's only like 3 songs on this album where I feel like they really, really go together. And I've written down some examples. We went through every song. I didn't write down things for every song, because some songs I didn't really have anything to say about. Um,
if you want it.
Do you want to do? Okay.
You can go first.
This is really okay. So I'll do one. I'll start, and then you do one. And since you're holding the phone, you'll do the next one. So hand it. Okay. So let's talk about Lavender Haze.
Okay.
So you seem like you really liked it. Okay. Were you just hyped up when you?
I was probably hyped up, but when listening to it, I felt like I was in a haze. Like,
yeah,
I was trying to figure out what was going on the entire time.
Yes, I feel like there's a lot of word painting in this, and especially in my favorite song, the album. And so that song is very confusing, and I think it's on purpose. So what I wrote for it is lyrics are good, the chorus is great, the background music is weird to me. The runs are kind of awkward. There were a lot of times where she was just like,
yeah.
And I get it, like siren calling, like mysterious, but if it's so she is an artist, and she's making art, but obviously she wants people to continue to listen to her art. She's not making an exhibit you go in once. And this song felt like an exhibit I'm gonna go in once. Yeah. I'm not gonna listen to Lavender Haze again. Does that make sense?
At least not on purpose.
Yeah. The thing with it is there's a lot of synths in this album, and I don't like a majority of them because they feel really, really out of place with the messaging of the song. I feel like the background music should emphasize the lyrics, and the lyrics should match the background music. But I felt like they were fighting, and so I was like, maybe that's the point, that they're kind of going, the music is going against the lyrics and they don't really fit too well. But then it happened with every song, and I was like, no, this is just the style, this is just the genre she's doing for this.
Kind of like off balance. Well, I mean, it's
music that's asymmetrical.
Yeah, like it's an album about you kind of at your worst, so it's probably not gonna sound the best.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't pleasing to listen to.
Sure.
You know the genre of music that's like autism music, that's like
the noises.
A collection of noises, but they sound good.
No, it overwhelms me.
So this is the opposite for me, where it's a collection of noises, but I don't like any of them. I feel like there are some songs, it's the minority. Some songs where the synths actually produce a appealing sound, and it's not this one. You want to read what you wrote for Lavender Haze to me?
So, I wrote, I feel like how you described it before to me, whenever you were first explaining how you were trying to predict what this song was going to be about, I feel like I was taking that into consideration, but I genuinely thought that, like, she's trying to tell us something, but she's not saying it. And
which is kind of what I was saying.
Yeah. And
if you don't know the drama with how the fandom thinks her and her significant other aren't actually dating, and they're kind of forcing Taylor to come out and putting a lot of pressure on her as a queer icon, even though she's never explicitly said she's queer. She's might have hinted at it and written songs about women. We're just casual fans for sure. I love her music, but I'm not spinning a narrative with Miss Taylor Swift.
Sure.
And so Gaylor thought the song was going to be about her being queer, and then people who are very against Taylor being queer thought this song is going to be about the pressure her fans put on her to be a queer creator, which, like, Lavender, if you don't know, is very synonymous with being queer. It was called the Lavender Panic, Lavender Crisis, like, and so I think that is what she's talking about, is her relationship, her current relationship. But once again, it's very secretive.
So that was the intro to the album.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna switch to Maroon. I
have no notes on Maroon at all.
All I wrote down was dark pop slay. That's all I wrote.
I felt the lyrics weren't as on Taylor's like Evermore level in this particular song. I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Like when she said, usually when you drop the title in the song, you're like, ooh, that's the title. But when she said Maroon, I was like, oh. How do you feel?
I thought that, I thought whenever I was trying to listen to this, I was like, is this going to be like a red version?
Yeah.
To the, because I was talking to our mutual friend we saw yesterday, and I was explaining how I thought maybe since this is 13 songs and 2 of them were going to be remixes, because she hinted at remixes at one point, and then one might be new for this album, that we might have different eras for each song.
Yeah.
And so I was like, is this the red era? So I was trying to decipher my own theory within it, and that probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea for me either, because I don't know how this is 13 sleepless nights throughout her life, because they're all in the same genre. Like, girl, I know you made this year. Maybe she like edited them so they'd all fit together, but I was ready for like a bunch of different stuff going on.
And like just a bunch of, I was ready for like Sad Country Girl, because I thought that'd be really good. But Maroon is probably like one of it's kind of just like, it's not good, it's not bad, it's there.
Yeah, that's why I didn't write anything for it. Like, it's a good song. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't think it's the best piece of media I've ever listened to. Yeah.
Do you want to go switch to Antihero?
You can start with, I don't know if I wrote anything down.
Okay.
We'll see.
For Antihero, I was understanding how like, hi, it's me. I'm the problem. Relatable. I feel like I get stuck up in my head all the time, and hearing her and watching the music video and like listening to her talk about how like what has happened is my fault and I'm the problem, and that's why no one will love me anymore. Yeah. That was something that was really, because that's how my head's always worked. Yeah. Whenever something happens, I'm like, I'm the problem. No one will ever like me. This is my fault. Yeah. And so hearing her put that into words, even her thinking that, I was like, someone's putting this to words. They understand. We're mentally ill. Yeah. So, that's what I thought about Antihero. Did you take any notes?
Yeah, we'll see. Let's reveal notes for Antihero.
I keep having to switch back and forth. Okay.
This is the reveal. Yes. First thing I wrote was good plot. Like, I feel like not only was she telling her story, it was characterized a lot of the times. There was a lot of exaggeration. I also feel like that's what your brain does when you're in that mindset. Then I said, I can still hear the weird balloon noises, LOL. So the synths are still present in this song. And clearly in this song, I thought they sounded like squeaking balloons. So, and obviously that's not a good sound. I love the interludes. What this means is between the verses and the chorus, there was like jingles. Like doo doo, like it was just a small musical break, like a 2-measure musical break. And I was like, this is relaxing. And then it's like balloon screech.
I think she might have listened to Charlie Puth too much on TikTok. Because he like goes and finds, he did a clip with Jimmy Fallon recently.
You know what it is? It's that Seabat song. That's what Taylor listened to. She was like, dang it. They got to it first. Reading the Wheel is that whole thing. I feel like that was very comedic, like it's very Taylor's kind of funny, but I feel like, I don't know, I liked it. It was a good part of the story that she was telling. And then I wrote a line, I'd rather stare into the sun than stare into the mirror. I feel like that's such a powerful...
Have you ever stared in the sun before? Like, your vision starts to go away.
I do it because it makes my vision turn blue, but you shouldn't stare into the sun.
Yeah, that's not safe.
Don't do that. But it's like she'd rather go blind than look at herself.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. It's just a lot. And I think that's whenever she was explaining her lonely, really sad stage in her life in the documentary.
Yeah.
Like Miss America or something like that. Where she was just like, people love me, but I don't love myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they're finding that love from.
I don't see what they see.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Antihero is higher on the list. I feel like top 6 songs. But it's just, if it was another genre, I feel like this song would instantly be added to my playlist. I just want to rip the random synths out of all these. I want to make like an edited version. Like she released a 3 a.m. version or something like that. I want to make a Clay's version where it's just version? I silence all the weird synth noises and it's just her singing with like a piano or guitar in the background.
Yeah, like her acoustic lives and stuff. Yeah. Like that.
Oh my gosh, if I go see her in concert, is someone gonna be like on a keyboard with all the synths? He'd be like,
he's just standing.
He's just.
It's Keyboard Cat.
Yes,
it's Keyboard Cat.
Keyboard Cat died recently.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really? Man. It's
peace.
Bongo Cat.
Bongo Cat. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say about Antihero before we move on?
We can move on.
Snow on the Beach. Featuring Lana Del Rey. Featuring Lana Del Rey. This is what I said. Lyrics good and backtrack good. So this is the first song I actually liked on the album. And so like halfway through it, I was like, I'm so scared for Lana to come in and the vibe change because
she never
did. I was like, honestly, good, because the song just works so well with Taylor singing.
She comes in like Snore on the Beach.
No, but the thing is, she's in the song, but it's her just going, oh. I'm not even joking. And then I think she harmonizes with Taylor at the end. But I was listening for her, and she just moans like twice. She goes like, ooh, ah. I'm like, okay, Lana. But this was the first song I added to my playlist. Where I listened to it, I actually liked it, and I added it to my personal playlist.
Yeah. I thought that the metaphors in this song were really good. Because she was describing a love as unusual, like not what you expect it to be, but better. Yeah. And so I thought that was a really interesting take. Beautiful but strange.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
They probably had synths on this track, and they were like, there's just a lot of synths in here. And then they were like, what if we got someone else to make the noises the synths do? Lana, can you come in here and moan really quickly?
Can you come into the booth real quick?
Thank you, Lana.
Lana. Carry on. Okay. From Snow on the Beach, we go to... Well, are you good with Snow on the Beach? From Snow on the Beach, we go to You're on Your Own, Kid. And it took me a minute to figure out what was going on, because it starts talking about kind of like childhood stuff, like running through the sprinklers, ashes in the fireplace, so different seasons. Yeah. Summer to winter, I thought. And so then I was like, okay, so is this... But running through the sprinklers is a little bit more innocent, because you kind of only do that when you're a kid. Yeah. And so I was like, was this an old love? Was this a love when you were a kid? And then I was trying to decipher what she was trying to say. I was like, is this right people at the wrong time? Yeah. Is this a love story that lasted longer than it should have, and then there was burnout? Is it two people going separate ways? Yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out. But whenever she was like, you're on your own, you always have been, I'm like, so what are your thoughts, if you have any?
Yeah, I felt like
Bandit's making a really weird noise right now.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Give me. I felt like this song had great lyricism in it. But and the structure of the song is really good. But this is the main reason I don't think I'd want to listen to it again. And it, what I'm about to say makes sense for what the song is about. The way the chorus is set up, it rises and it fits with the beat really well. It's like there's like, I don't know, power growing. It's like ooh, ooh, oh, and then she talks. Mm-hmm. But basically, I felt like the chorus was really powerful and it was really swelling and it was really growing, and then it came to an abrupt stop, and it really took away my immersion from the song, and I was like, but I feel like that's the point.
You aren't getting the satisfaction that you want.
Yeah. But once again, this is not an art exhibit. This is music, and I wanna be able to listen to all these songs on repeat. And because of that, I don't think I would want to. I feel like, yeah, I'm not getting the conclusion I want.
She didn't either.
Yeah, which is the point.
Yeah.
And then I said, in all caps, weird synths are back, LMAO. Mm-hmm. And then, right before the bridge, I think, or right after, I said, in the studio, she found 2 frying pans because it goes ding ding, burm burm.
Yeah, I was like, what was that?
I heard that. I just started laughing. I was like, she went into like the kitchen in the studio. She was living her
tangled realness.
Yeah, and found 2 frying pans and smacked it on there. But I said best bridge on the entire album, maybe. Because I feel like that time when she said, "You're on your own, kid," she didn't talk and the music didn't stop. It felt like how all the rest of the song did, and the song had a conclusion where it was like, "Taylor, honey, you've always done stuff on your own. You're strong enough to do it."
Yeah.
So I got the conclusion I wanted in the end, but the song is 3 minutes and the chorus happens like 3 times, and I don't want to hear the other 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're nitpicking this, but once again, I want to listen to all these songs, but I just know I won't be able to due to these things.
Yeah.
It's also mainly the synths.
I feel like this album has to grow on a lot of people.
Well, that's what people said about Solar Power by Lorde. Who'd it grow on? People still hate that out.
I've never really listened to Lorde, so...
Yeah.
But
show me at the tennis courts, yeah?
Yeah. A lot of people that are fans of 21 Pilots hated their most recent album because it got happier. Mm-hmm. And they're like, but I want to be sad. And they created happier music because he's happier in his life. That's the same
thing. That's the same thing with Solar Power.
Yeah.
It's like this happy song, but it's not that it's happy. It's just kind of not good. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lorde. I didn't give a trigger warning for Lorde stans. Like, you fell into my trap.
They've gotten this far in this topic.
So... yeah. Have you talked about your opinion yet? For You're on Your Own, Kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started it.
Okay.
I think.
I don't have any recollection.
Okay.
Next song, Midnight Rain.
This one, you have the phone, you go.
I'm going to go ahead and say this is the worst song on the album.
Okay.
I don't know what that filter was, what fan she was talking into. But I said LMAO, the opening.
I didn't really get this one. I was just like, what is happening?
And then I said weird synth. And that's the only 2 notes I have for this. So
I thought it was interesting that she compared the other person to Sunshine and she's Midnight Rain. Like, she's the darkness and they were the light in this. So that's what I only really took note of. The rest I was like, where's this noise coming from? Why is it all the way over here and I'm hearing her over here?
Yeah.
Then we have Question.
Just completely. Yeah, Midnight Rain asked. Sorry guys, like all the other songs can be good because they all tell an amazing story. There's aspects of them I don't like, but that's the point of the album. This song I really think like her producer went to the bathroom and she put on some filters.
She was just she was at the recording booth like,
yeah. You know? I mean, honestly, me too. If that was true, I'd probably like the song more. Taylor's like, let's see how much stuff I can stack onto this.
Let's see how much I can make this chaotic.
That's the song. I'm talking about the right song, right? Where it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Because people on Twitter last night were like, Okay, what's going on with Midnight Rain? She kind of had me lost at Midnight Rain, and then she pulled it back together towards the end. But I'm still confused. The ending,
I think, is the second half of the album is definitely the better half of the album.
Okay. I feel about the same. Question. I was trying, whenever I was listening to this, I was like, is she replaying the moment of what was happening in that room? Is she trying to like figure out what she could have done better? Is she asking someone, have you ever been through this? Do you know where I've been? Do you know what I've been through? How dare you? Like, I think a lot of my first reaction was, what is going on? But
I don't know. And I'm going to be completely honest. I re-listened to the first verse because I was like, am I hearing this right? And then I skipped to the bridge hoping it was good.
Okay.
So this might be my second least favorite song on the entire album.
I feel like this one was just a very emotional. Like, this is her writing in her journal, like, trying to process some stuff, and she's just like, have you ever done this? I feel so strongly about this situation that I need to let it go.
A hot take I saw on Songs Like Question is people were like, I understand that she wrote these songs in the middle of the night, but you can really tell it, girl, go to bed and finish this tomorrow. Yeah, that's how I feel about Question.
I picked a bad time to take a sip of boba. Okay. Is there any other stuff that you want me to just keep going?
I don't think I wrote anything down.
Okay. Next, we have vigilante shit. Good job, Bandit. This song, insane.
Yeah.
This is the most Reputation on the album.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is just Reputation.
And then I was like, is this song about her exposing her old producer for an affair and then reporting it to the FBI? Like, this is the craziest.
This song also, not that there was immersion. This song came out of left field.
Yeah, because you go from like emotional, boom.
But there's nowhere else she could have. This probably would have been a better opening. Than Lavender Haze, actually.
So from like angry to sad, like the grief process. Gotcha. This is the 13 stages of grief. Yeah. But I thought that this was, I saw, you know that meme of Lewis from Family Guy putting on boots?
Yeah.
People were like changing it to this song. I was like, okay. But opening really caught me off guard. I was like, oh, we're switching. Hang on, I gotta pull myself together.
Yeah. Me too.
Did you have any notes?
I might have. Let's see. Notes reveal.
Notes reveal.
Let me see.
Sometimes it doesn't let me switch back and forth.
I said baddie in space. Oh, this is the thing. There weren't any. There wasn't, but it matches the song, so it didn't bother me. There's at one point where it sounded like she took a sheet of metal and went wah, 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 wah. I was like, Taylor, get out of the storage closet. You found the frying pans. You found the balloons. You found the wobbly sheet of metal.
She went to Party City and went ham.
It did. I was like, oh, okay, Taylor. Then I said the bass drop hits different. But the way the synth in this song was used as the melody in a way, like it was the bass line of the music, like the backbone. But the way it sounded, I said it's kind of giving Billy. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, it was
when we all fall asleep. Where do we go?
I didn't know if it was giving Reputation, if it was giving Billie Eilish.
That makes sense. It's the dark. To me, whenever I heard this, it sounded black and white. Like, and that's why I got Reputation because it was very like dark. There's only this side or this side because it's literally the accusation and the victim. Yeah. And who is it, you know?
Yeah.
So, it was, but it was a very interesting thing, like a story to go through.
Yeah.
But then she started talking about the FBI, and I was like, wait a minute. What is...
Wait a second. What'd she do after she called the FBI? Did she get in the getaway car?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Labyrinth. This is...
Punch my mic.
Are you about to say this is your favorite song?
I think I understood this song more than I should have.
This, I think, is the pinnacle of... I would love this song if it didn't have the random synth noises screaming in my ear.
Yeah.
They were so loud in this one. Like, louder than she was singing. Like, I couldn't hear... Like, whenever it would come on and she was saying a word underneath it, I couldn't hear the word she was saying.
Yeah.
I said, all jokes aside, the synths have actually gone too far in this song. Mm-hmm. This is a very deep and emotional song with powerful words, but they've taken the spotlight away from the theme by doubly. That's what I wrote. I wrote doubly.
It's Patrick in the booth going. I thought she captured you getting lost in your own mind very well.
Yes. I think I love the lyrics in this song.
Yeah.
I just can't focus on them at all.
Yeah. And I think the reason why it's doing that, though, is because that's your thoughts coming at you.
I don't want abstract concepts in my Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah.
If it was one song, but it's every song
to
have these weird synths in it, and I get the artistic point of having them in there.
I just don't want it.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, you can have them in there in a different way. They're really, really in the forefront, and especially in this song. Mm-hmm. And I could not enjoy the song because it was screaming in my ear.
Yeah. I like you said, vocals, not vocals,
lyrics.
Sorry. Lyrics strongest ones,
yeah.
I think. It was really good, and I really respect this song, and I'm willing to put up with the
Did you think the same thing when you heard it though? You were like,
well, I was like, what was that? What just flew by my head?
Yeah.
Like a gnat or something.
Wait a minute.
Okay. From there, oh, my phone. Okay.
Is this Karma? Is Karma next?
Yes. Did we skip Bejeweled though?
Oh, it's probably because I had the phone and I didn't
write
anything down. Let's talk about Bejeweled. I didn't write anything down. Bejeweled was my...
I just wrote Sparkly Slay. That's all I wrote.
Yeah. But when the song titles were announced, everyone was picking what song they wanted to be their song, and I picked Bejeweled.
Mm-hmm. Bad pick. Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not Yes Girl Give Us Nothing, because it's like it's a girl boss song.
Cinnamon in my throat.
Chokes cutely. It's a girl boss song.
Yeah.
Like it's a power move to go out and have fun without whoever's holding you down.
Oh, her words, I don't dress up for men, I don't dress up for women.
I dress up for revenge.
Power.
Oh.
We didn't talk about that, but that was, anyways.
Yeah.
That's what made me think of it.
But it was just, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't speak to me.
For me, the rhythm was off on this one. Like, whenever she's talking, it'd be like, da 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 da. Like, it was kind of like...
It didn't fit.
It's like your intrusive thoughts are just kind of keep going.
Yeah.
And, I did like her talking about dressing up, though. So, that's kind of all I got.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bejeweled, then Labyrinth. Now we're on Karma. At first, I thought this was like, worry about yourself. Don't worry about me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, is Karma actually something else in the song? It's just called Karma?
Yeah.
And then, that was like, but the big thing I got was like, just worry about yourself.
Yeah.
Because I gotta worry about me.
All I wrote down, I think, was radio single.
Mm-hmm.
If this album had a radio single, it would have been Karma. And I've seen a lot of people dancing to this song, and that's really it. This is the the song, the pop song, the dance song.
This is the
Macy's song. I feel like when we get some songs on the radio, this is going to be the one that we're going to hear on the radio.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's a good song. I think this is my 4th favorite song because I have a top 3, and it was in the top 3 until I got a little later in the album. But the second half of the album's really good. Like I like it. So yeah, I think Karma is a good song.
Yeah, I think so too. And then after Karma, we kind of flipped the scripts. That's what I thought. Because I thought Sweet Nothing was going to destroy me. Turns out it was kind of happy. Because I wrote down, you loved me for who I am, and nothing more than that. And I was like, well, that's not what Sweet Nothing sounds like. And I think that was kind of the point of the name. Because now we're getting more positive.
It's because Taylor's Taylor.
Yeah.
And everyone wants something from Taylor. And now she has someone who just wants to be with her. Yeah. And that's it. They want nothing from her.
They just want
it's
her.
It's sweet nothings.
Yeah. And I just was like, oh, she's happy. That's all you want for people, for them to be happy. And so I thought that was a really good change in script, and it was a really good, like, love story.
The album really, really needed this song. I think this song saved the album, and this is my favorite song on the album. Yeah. And I wrote, I think, a page about
Okay, let me get it to you. I'm sorry.
Because this song did what I wanted all the other ones to do. Not that it's happy.
It's happier.
It's... Okay, I'm just going to read what I said. First, I said, great opening. Those... like the keyboard synthy kind of vibe, using it in an effective way.
It's more like 80s.
Yeah. This is, I think, the only song that really, really used the lyrics and the music together in a very effective way that matched. I mean, in the opening verse, she's singing at the same time as the piano's playing in the background. Like, they're in sync.
This is the first song I heard pianos in the background. And this was the first song where I was like, oh, this is like when you hear New Year's Day.
Yeah.
So.
I said using the horns and synths effectively, matching the vibe, amplifying the story. And this has a lot of word painting because in the second chorus is when these I think they're horns that have been put through a synthesizer, you know what I'm saying? So you can play it on a keyboard. So she says, I'll take the push and shove, and then the synth goes out and then in. That's word painting. And then it's like not on top of what she's saying before. It's sentence, synth. Next sentence, you're in the kitchen humming, and then the synth goes, like someone's humming. It's melodic, and then it's all you wanted was nothing, my sweet nothing, or something like that. And as she says nothing, the synth is now underneath her, but it says nothing with her. Yeah. These like horn synth says like nothing. It matched as the first time the synth has like matched what she was saying, like things lined up. This is I think the best song on the album, in my opinion. I immediately put this on my playlist, and it's number 1. And it's the only song I've listened to since the initial playthrough. This is the only song because it's really what people liked about Folklore and Evermore. It's very simple music with a really good poetic story. But it fits the theme of this album with this like techno keyboard synth vibes. Yeah. But it's bringing in more of these natural elements because this time they're not like completely robotic. They're like brass horns. Yeah.
And I love horns in music. There was one song where there was a lot of plucking at the end. I think that was the one with, I think it was Snow on the Beach. I also like it when strings pluck because that's like very soft. Like, yeah. Like,
oh, that was another thing. She said whenever she says soft in this song, she says it softly. Yeah, and that's word painting. Yeah, it's very good. I took a music theory class. I'm not an expert, But I really appreciate modulation, and I really appreciate word painting, because it's a way to make something artistic without ruining the entire song. If you get what I mean.
I think the synths are telling the story. You just don't want them to. But I think they're kind of telling the story throughout this with the chaos.
I'm not listening to this album like a podcast or an audio drama.
Yeah.
I want to listen to this in the car while me and my friends are hanging out.
Yeah.
And we're not like blah, blah, blah. And we're like, we stop what we're talking about because the synth ruined our conversation.
Yeah.
I listen to music when I wash my face and brush my teeth in the morning. And I want a sad song to be sad or a happy song to be happy. I don't want a sad song to blow their air horn at me.
This place about to blow. I get that. And think about having this on shuffle. Like, you go from We're the Kids of America to like
any of these songs outside of this album, you're absolutely right. In shuffle.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
This is an art piece. These songs belong together. But how, like, sustainably long-term is that?
Yeah.
Like, even if you blended this with other Taylor songs, it would be weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to talk about Mastermind? We're at the
Last
ending.
One. That I listened to.
This
I haven't
one,
heard 3
I
AM
said
yet.
another radio single.
Yeah.
Another radio single, Devoured. A great ending for the album.
Yeah. She knows she's smart.
I think she's gaslighting herself because she's just basically told this really long story about how everything kind of sucks, and then at the end she was like, I was in control the whole time.
Well, also, like, this is a concept that I've learned about recently, where whenever you go through hard times, your brain's just like, everything's fine. Like, you're trying to cut down the severity of the situation by being like, oh, I'm fine, everything's fine. And I think that's what this song was about, like, but also gaslighting yourself. Like, I was in control the whole time. Why was I being hard on myself? Why was I putting myself through this misery?
Right. It's true, because a lot of Taylor's issues in this song are self-inflicted. Everyone hates me. Not us like talking bad about these songs, and we're like, no one doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Everyone hates me. I'm ugly. Like, that's her self-confidence.
Yeah.
It's her brain messing with her.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's a mastermind, her mind is her master, thinking things for her that isn't true. So she's in control, but at the same time she's not. And that's the vibe. The song is ironic and not ironic. I don't know. I feel like it's a good culmination of everything in the album, because these weird synths, Taylor's saying something, and then these synths are doing something else, and they're contradicting. But this song, once again, is a good way of telling the story of being conflicted, and having differing emotions without hurting my ears.
Yeah. I thought this song was like proving that this was her doctor thesis, and this was actually a project.
Yeah.
And so
and that's why she did it at midnight. She wrote all these songs. She had 1 minute. It was 11:59.
Yeah. That's what the song.
Yeah.
I had some notes at the end of my notes app, if my phone will let me into it. I said, one of the notes that I made, I thought when I first heard this, it was like Reputation meets Lover. Like, it's two conflicting vibes butting heads all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of natural whenever you're going through the thought process. You're like, but what about this? But part of you's like, oh, but this. And
yeah. So this album is really like a happy it's like, it's Folklore Evermore Taylor, which is like sad Taylor. Then it's Lover Taylor, Happy Taylor, and then Reputation Taylor, like angry Taylor. And they're all conflicting. And then there's this new Taylor, which is at the time would be future Taylor, but is present Taylor. That I think that's why she chose this genre, like synthy, alien, futuristic. It's all these past emotions, but she's telling it as her future self. So it's
I went to therapy Taylor.
I went to therapy Taylor, and I got a keyboard on the ride home from therapy, and it had synth presettings, and I go beep boop beep boop.
It's like, this beat reminded me of this, and it's flashbacks.
This album is has a lot of duality. It's she's sad 1 second, and then she flips, and then she's angry. There's natural music and techno music. It's she's singing about her past, but we're listening to it in the future. I just feel like there's a lot going on in this album that's very interesting.
Yeah. I think it's a very nice art piece because, you know, there's people that will support her no matter what she does.
That's what I was thinking about this in the shower. Where I was like,
it doesn't matter if people hate it. It's still like a good.
It's good. Yeah. Because episode 1 or 2, I said Taylor Swift could release a song called Paper Plate or Napkin. Everyone be like, yeah. But I was in the shower and I was thinking about how I didn't like some of these songs, but I feel like everyone is going to love them just because it's Taylor. Because when you're obsessed with someone, it doesn't matter what they do. You love it. My friend Haley,
Hey, Haley.
They love Harry Styles. And
he's under fire right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on, let's wait for that.
Okay.
And I said, and I didn't really like Haley's house. I didn't really like Harry's house. That's another episode, I guess, maybe. Once again, it was weird. It had a lot of weird intros. Whatever. It wasn't really my vibe.
I love the Ant Farm one.
It was not really my vibe, but because I was talking to them about like how I felt about the album, and Haley was like, I love every song. Like, every song is good. And I was like, Harry Styles could burp into the mic and you'd listen to it. And Haley was like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm not a casual fan. So I was thinking in the shower today, Taylor Swift could release a 40-minute loop song of her gurgling mouthwash. And the fans will be like, she's so like powerful when she like,
she really
she this is my kin song.
She
like,
really gagged.
I really yeah. I really relate to her when she started to choke halfway through. Like,
the song is talking about like how you have so much on your mind that you choke, and it's just her like we're doing her morning routine.
So once again, we're just casual fans. We're just casual listeners. We've liked her music for a lot of years, but we're not. I don't have Taylor Nation's notifications turned on Twitter, or I'm not partaking in these crazy conspiracy theories. So don't come at us, human beings, for having an opinion on these very interesting art pieces that are songs.
Yeah. What is art but subjective?
Exactly.
Bandit is passed out. He has a paw hanging off my bed.
On my bag. He's on it. I can't even see it anymore. His head's so big.
Ain't nothing in the head.
Empty, hot air.
Okay, now that our Taylor Swift analysis is done.
Tell me, what's the Harry Styles thing? I don't know anything about him at all.
Oh, okay. I don't exactly know what was going on.
This is great.
But I was scrolling through TikTok and I was looking through the comments, and basically there was a picture of Harry and James Corden, and then people were talking about people that he hangs out with that aren't good. And then he was talking about how he stayed out of trouble for so long, but like he's in Hollywood, no one's good there.
Yeah.
So I was confused of what he did. I saw a TikTok that on Twitter a couple days ago, Tom Holland was yelling at a fan for harassing him. Harry Styles was getting canceled and someone else was doing something. And so I was like, huh? And I tried to look it up and couldn't find anything. And so that's all I know.
Yeah.
But, you know, who's not getting canceled on Twitter every day?
Yeah. I saw this girl get canceled on TikTok because her parents were conservative.
She can't control
that. Literally, what is she going to do? Cancel her parents?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, most of the time, kids have different views than their parents. Like, don't.
Yeah.
What did, like, all the comments, like, the video was canceling her, and then all the comments were like, come on now.
Yeah. You can't control other people's mindset.
Exactly.
And I think different mindsets are valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you might disagree, like, you could still learn from it.
Morals wouldn't exist if there weren't people that oppose them.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about, like, being happy and sad or funny and boring.
Yeah.
You gotta have both.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean,
if we live
inside out,
we gotta have a utopia one day. But for right now, that's how
we're very far from that.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Yeah.
I wore a lot of blue, so you better soak it in.
While
we're here.
We got blue rocks.
Blue.
If we were blue, and if I was green, I would die.
Let's roll the dice just to
see who would get a topic.
I'm struggling, guys. No.
Do you want me to?
Okay. Got it. Okay, let's roll the dice just to see what number, because I don't think we've rolled an odd number yet. 5. Okay, so if episode 5, because we already recorded episode 4. If episode 5, hey, that's a 5, doesn't have an odd number, it's because I rolled it just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, goodbye.
Boba, bye.
Boba, bye.
Boba.
Boba, bye.
Just like random